Good day, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Vise Squad, brought to you by the Anadramas Fly Company. This week, as promised, we are going to tie the Riddler, and this is what we came up with. It's got a nice shiny green body, shiny green hat, lots of purple because he had lots of purple on him, waist belt and the rest of it, and he had black shoes, so we put a little black tail on there, which we curled up just to make it look fancy. And let's start with the Riddler. That's a 14 curved nymph hook, 2 extra long, I do believe they are. That's a 1/8 shiny green brass bead. We're going to use some 70 denier UTC in black, which we'll start behind the bead and work our way down. And we'll bring that just to about where the barb is, give or take. For the tails, I'm going to use some black pheasant tail here. So I'm going to pull 6 or 8 fibers off the side, making sure to keep my tips all straight and even. And we'll tie those in right on top of that hook shank. So we'll start with just a couple loose wraps. And they can be a little longer maybe than you think they should be, just because we're going to curl them so they'll actually appear shorter. And we'll tie that in all the way along the top of that hook, right up to the bead, and snip them out of there. Alright, now to curl the tails, I'm sure we all had a mother or a grandmother or an auntie, or maybe you do it yourself, curl ribbon on a Christmas gift or birthday gift. What you do is you take your scissors, put it on one side, and a little bit of pressure against your fingernail. Don't go too hard because they will tear out of there. And like that, we can curl those feather fibers. Like so. Next, for the rib, we're going to use some ultra wire. This is fuchsia in color. I tried the purple, but the purple was a little dark. It's too dark, didn't really show up well against the green holo tinsel. So with fuchsia, this is size brassie. So I'll tie that in down to the tails and we'll leave it there. Next we'll grab the holo tinsel, which is size medium in green. Medium or large would probably be the best to use. Small might be a little tough to work with, just because when you wrap you want to overlap as you go, and with the small that can be difficult to do. Next, what we'll do is we'll just build our tapered body up with our thread. If you twist your thread counterclockwise, as always, you can uncord it and it'll lay flat and help you build that body up nice. Once you got your taper sorted out, we'll just start wrapping that tinsel forward. Like I say, you want to overlap it onto the last wrap and work your way forward. Finish that right behind the bead. Next we'll take the rib. I'm going to counter wrap it. What I like to do is put one full wrap around the tails and then move it up onto the body. Now you could just do even segments all the way up like we typically would. But for this one, I think I'm just going to expand the width of those segments every time I come up. Like that. Now I'll tie that off. wire out of there. All right, so we're gonna put a soft hackle in this guy. And what I'm gonna use is some guinea fowl feathers. Look like these guys. And I'm just gonna take one side, and I'm gonna pull those fibers right off the side. And then I'm gonna grab my material clip. I'm gonna put that on there about where I think I want the length of those feathers to be. So if you wanted to measure it against your fly, that might be a little long for these ones and maybe a little short for these ones, but all in all, I think it'll be okay. It will, when you cord them up in the thread, they will actually be a little shorter than what it shows there, and they'll flare out. So just a touch long, I guess, would be okay. And then we'll just take our scissors and we'll just cut them off on the side there. I'll set that aside for a sec. And we'll just counterclockwise spin our thread and get it to unwind so we can lay it flat. If you take your bodkin, you can kind of run it back. You can use your finger as well, but I like the bodkin, makes it easy to see. And once you've got it to the point where you can open it up, just use your bodkin, separate the thread. And we'll grab that material clip. We'll just stick those feather fibers in between. Always keep some tension on your thread, otherwise it'll separate and it'll just fall out. And then we'll just turn them clockwise. And that should tighten everything up. Alright, once you've got them tight, looks pretty close, we'll just gently wrap those around the hook, just making sure that you're not trapping anything facing forward. Just sort of gently use your fingers to pull them backwards, like so. That worked out pretty close. There's a couple that might be a little long in there, but all in all, I don't think it's going to matter much. Next, to finish it, we're going to use some this is some vicuña dubbing in purple. I've been tying a lot with this stuff. I really like it, and it just so happens to be a great color for the Riddler here. So I've got just a tiny pinch, and I only want enough on there to maybe go around a couple times, because I'm gonna whip finish this onto the hook and finish the fly at the same time. Which, I'm gonna grab our whip finish tool here. I'll do like this. Oops. A few times around with the dubbing. A few times around without the dubbing. Pull that through. And snip our thread out. Next, some bit of head cement in there is probably a pretty good idea. Not too bad. Nice and sparse. I didn't want to over hackle it just because you lose the body then. But that is my spin on the Riddler. Next week, hopefully the mail comes on time. I've got some fancy new beads coming from our friends down at the Anadrama's Fly Company that I ordered through them that will make a pretty smart looking penguin character. But we'll see. If the mail gets here, we'll tie it. If not, I'll come up with something else. We'll do Mr. Freeze or somebody. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this Batman series. We've been, it just sort of started out as something to do, and now it's just turned into something that we should do. And it's just, you know, been a whole pile of fun to kind of sit down and figure them all out. And I hope you guys are enjoying that. If you are and you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell beside it, and you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Hit the like button if you did like the video. We'd really appreciate that as well. If you want to check out fishingandoutdoors.ca for our Canadian customers and .net for our American customers, you can check out all of Anadromus's gear. They got all sorts of great stuff. Scissors. Just a couple weeks ago, they sent me these twisted scissors, twisted grip or something they're called, and boy, I tell you, they're sure comfortable to just hang on to. They you don't really need to put them down very often. So twisted loop scissors, that's what they're called. But and you can also get some customization done these days, and I don't know if that'll pick up or not, but they've got a pretty good sense of humor down at the Anadromus Fly Company, and sent me these scissors, letting me know what they think of me, and I tell you, I really appreciate it. But and we all had a really good laugh about it. At any rate, go check them out. Check out their Instagram. Check out their Facebook. Check out Goes to 11's Instagram. Always new stuff on there. At any rate, I'm babbling on now. It's time to go. We will see you next week. Hopefully the mail comes. Talk to you.